You're watching ESPN's coverage of Champ Week, and welcome to Ohio Valley Conference Softball Championship on ESPN+. As we're coming to you live from OSF Healthcare Field at the Louisville Slugger Park in Peoria, Illinois. Game 2 of our quadruple header. She's Kirsten Dell. I'm Max Toma. We had a fun one in Game 1, right? Went all the way down to the stretch. Bottom 6, scoreless game. Finishes out 1-0. USI advances. And now we've got Game 2, our first look at SEMO this week, and our first ever look in OVC tournament play at Western Illinois.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see another pitching duel for both of these teams. I think SEMO wants to come in. They've come in red hot, and for Western Illinois, I think coming in and trying to make a statement for the first time here in OVC play.
SEMO's been one of the hottest teams in the conference, Western Illinois. Mission number 1 of the season has been accomplished. Now they're playing a little bit of house money, trying to win this elimination game and move on to a date tonight with the Lindenwood Lions. That would be the final game of the day. The tournament bracket is presented by Discover Peoria. With endless options, there's no shortage of fun to discover in Peoria. Visit peoria.org to discover what Peoria has to offer. When we come back, it's Game 2 of the day, our first look in this tournament at Western Illinois. And we see SEMO again, the 8 and 5 seed duel when we come back. Just about ready. SEMO and Western Illinois. The Redhawks and the Leathernecks. Game 2 of our quadruple header here on day 1 of the Ohio Valley Conference Softball Tournament from the Louisville Slugger Sports Complex in Peoria, Illinois. We had an elimination game in Game 1 where USI took down Tennessee Tech. We start the day with 8 teams. We'll finish with 6. 2 more will get eliminated tomorrow as well. But the winner of this one moves on to play tonight in what would be not an elimination game against Lindenwood. And in the circle for SEMO today is Elliott Stinson, the senior, 4.24 her ERA. 5-7 so far on the season. This will be her 14th start of the season. 62 2/3 innings with 46 strikeouts. And we saw a lot of good pitching in Game 1 from both teams.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's going to be the key here today is get ahead and get ahead often and see if you can keep this Western Illinois off the base paths because they're a scrappy team. They like to make things happen, and so playing good defense and getting ahead, and that's what Coach Redburn talked about is just playing sound softball is going to be the key for them.
SEMO comes in winners of 6 straight. They won 5 of their last 6 series in the OVC. And Western Illinois, it was fun talking with head coach Alyssa Goller earlier this week in the build-up to this tournament in Peoria, because it's been very Jekyll and Hyde down the stretch. When they have brought their A game, They tend to jump on you early and often and win in blowout fashion, but the reverse has also held true. If they don't show up early, they have been blown out a few times. 2-4 in their last 6 conference games. The losses, as this is chopped on the ground towards Martini. Off balance throw, and a good scoop over there from Shore at first. But you look at the losses, 10-0, 8-1, 12-0, and 5-0. The last 4. Last 2 wins, 11-3 and 8-0 though.
Shortstop number 22,
Good job there. Didn't really need to throw off balance, but decides to throw on the run, and good scoop to keep speed off the base pass.
Oh, back goes flying, ball goes the other way. Noted it earlier, you know, it's your first game playing this week on the turf. It's going to come at you maybe a little quicker, a little fuck here, and you got to get the footwork right too. First inning always big when anything's hit your way to get your feet underneath you.
Yeah, I think for this SEMO team, just not used to kind of being in this position. They were picked to finish first in the OVC. Talk to Coach Redburn. Obviously, he doesn't put too much stock into that, but this team is used to having a bye or being one of the top 3 or 4 seeds, and so the fact that they're playing in an elimination game, it's different, and it's this tournament after you pass these 2 games is double elimination, and so yeah, you have to get fired up because it's win or go home.
Yeah, they won the LBC tournament just 2 years ago, and really were competitive in regional play back in 2024 too. But had a sluggish start this season. Coach Redburn was telling us, hey, we always knew the talent was there. It's just a matter of figuring things out. And like is normally the case, very hard non-conference schedule to start the season too, as Utendorf rips this into center for a 1-out single. What do you look for first time through the lineup to see if a team is, comfortable, given that it's the Leatherneck's first ever appearance in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think just having quality at bats. So, in the first time up, you want to see a few more pitches from the pitcher, just kind of get an idea of what they're throwing, and so being a little bit more patient. And then ultimately, they've hit now 2 balls pretty hard, and I think they're just going to try and make good hard contact. When they can string some hits together, Western Illinois can really produce some offense.
And when one of the top 2 batters in the lineup can get aboard for Peyton Brown, good things tend to happen. For last year's LVC Player of the Year at .413 in 2025. That average fell all the way down to .402 this year. 9 home runs, 40 runs batted in for the Illinois State transfer. Played 1 year up the road in Bloomington Normal.
Anytime you have a right-handed hitter hitting over 400, your eyes definitely kind of get big because, you expect slappers to be in the high 3s, low 4s just because they're trying to hit for singles, but a player in your 3-hole, she flies out there hitting over 400. That's pretty impressive.
You go from a transfer player to all of a sudden you're the first one on the scouting report for any team coming to play, right? Winkler makes the grab. That'll bring up Ruby Tar with 1 on and 2 away. First pitch, swing it is Tar, out to center. Delmain is there. And Elliott Stinson works around a 1-out single in an 18-pitch scoreless first inning. It'll be the Red Hawks coming to bat for the first time this week when we return.
Energy needs may change with the seasons, but saving money makes sense all year. With CenterPoint Energy's efficiency programs, it's easy. Home energy assessments help spot ways to save. Rebates can lower heating, cooling equipment costs. And our online marketplace delivers energy-saving products to your door, electric and gas savings, all from your local energy provider. See how you can save this winter by going to centerpointenergy.com/smart-savings.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC. Are you ready to take your money to new heights?
Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
Leading off the second baseman, number 11.
Lily Wolves gets the start in the circle for the Leathernecks, her 7th start. Logged 1 inning against SEMO when these teams met prior back in early March. Gave up 4 runs. They were all unearned that day. Her first pitch misses down low here. The starting pitchers are presented by Johnston's. Johnston's the official recognition company of the OVC. Last time out, she was absolutely brilliant. Just a few days ago against SIU, we went the distance in shutout fashion. 7 innings, no runs. Couple Ks, 1 walk, 6 hits against her, so you know she's feeling confident entering this matchup.
Yeah, shut down a really, really good offense in SIUE, so definitely has to feel confident coming into this game.
Camden Hutton in the top spot. The Vernon College transfer who began year 1 collegiately at Texas State. A third school in 3 years for someone who's hitting .344. When you look up and down this lineup, there are a lot of players in the midst of their best stretch of the season. That's why this team has won 5 of their last 6 series and 6 games straight overall.
Yeah, and that's the key when you get into postseason is we talk about when you know, some teams peak too early. And, you know, I feel like Coach Redburn has them in just the right spot where they're peaking just at the right time. And, you know, people talk about teams that make runs in the postseason. It's not necessarily – it's a little bit of luck, and it just takes peaking at the right time, and it seems that CMO is peaking at the right time. They seem to be clicking on all cylinders with pitching and hitting and defense, and a lot of their hitters having some of their best games down the stretch.
I mean, you want to be at your best in April and into May, and that's absolutely been the case for this SEMO team as Hutton draws the walk. I mean, she's hitting .444 across her last 5 games with 5 runs and 5 RBIs in the leadoff spot.
And I think that's the challenge as a coach. You know, in the Ohio Valley Conferences, you know, Coach Redburn talks about he wants to schedule some really, really challenging non-conference matchups. And so early in the season, when you're still trying to get your footing under you, you're going and playing a bunch of these Power 4 schools who you're going to see in regionals and super regionals and the World Series, and you're seeing the best of the best pitching. And, you know, for any player early in the season, it's hard to find your timing and it's hard to get your feet under you, let alone kind of playing those Power 4 schools. And so sometimes that can transition into the beginning of your conference series. And so it's a hard balance of, do I schedule really tough non-conference opponents and we kind of limp into the first part of the season, or do I see if we can get some wins under our belt, get some confidence as we go into conference? And I think that's the battle that a lot of these mid-major coaches have to kind of, you know, every year, where's our team? What's going to set them up for success?
Certainly more than one way to approach it, and I'd say usually the last few years, SEMO and Eastern Illinois do a great job of scheduling very hard non-conference games. Panthers coach and staff telling us a couple days ago, you know, at one point early in the season, they had a strength of schedule that was inside the top 10 in the entire country, and they had a slow start. And you'd say rightfully so, given who they were squaring up against. There's a bloop single out to center for Madison Winkler, and the first 2 are on. Winkler's got a hitting streak up to 8 games now. She is 13 for her last 26. 500 across that stretch.
Yeah, just does a really nice job. Not a bad pitch, just a pitch blown away, and doesn't try and do too much. And I think, you know, as a lot of these hitters have gotten settled in later in the season, is they're not trying to swing too big. They're just trying to, whatever the pitcher gives them, that's what they're doing with it. And that's why you're seeing a lot of these hitters start to have better at bats.
That's a lot of times a approach that can have a lot of success this time of year too, and you don't try to do too much at the dish. Aubrey Short, the 5th-year senior who missed last year with the back injury. She was second team All-OVC 2 years ago. 3 homers, 26 RBIs. What a journey back for her with a tremendous follow-up season after the injury. And a home run in Game 1 of their last series against Tennessee Tech. 3 RBIs over the weekend. I mean, she is one of the key cogs in this lineup, but not just on the field, off the field too, with just kind of setting the tone from a effort and working perspective and attacking her rehab on the ground. Utendorf for the out. Advances both base runners, though. Certainly Coach Redburn had plenty of positive things to say about Aubrey Shore.
Absolutely. Just having that senior leadership, you know, and just being an example for the other players of hitting some adversity in your career and having to sit out a season, having to grind out rehab and come back and have a really, really good season on paper. It just goes to show that, you know, hard work does pay off, and you know, sometimes things don't always go your way, but able to kind of just be gritty and stick things out.
On the land of what have you done for me lately? Has anybody done more than Reagan Brannon? Opportunity to get SEMO on the board first. She's got 6 straight multi-hit games. 13 for her last 23 in the midst of a 13-game hit streak. And in the last 13 games, she's hit 5 of her total 6 home runs this campaign. I mean, pick your poison with this lineup, because it's not just players who have great numbers on the season. There's plenty in here who have just been swinging it incredibly well. That's a great 2-0 pitch, though, from Lily Wolves. The Lamar transfer, the junior from Mansfield, Texas. Still in front of the count. A walk, then a single, and a ground out to short. And she lays off for ball 3. I mean, this is already as good an opportunity as we saw really either team have to score in game 1 today. Infield drawn in. Outfield at average depth. The 3-1 is fouled away towards the on-deck batter.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in these tournaments. I mean, it's single elimination, so you want to get on the board early and often and see if you can run the score up, especially when you're starting from the single elimination, and you know if you're going to have a chance in this tournament, you're going to have to play 4, 5, 6 games.
Payoff pitch in the air, out to center. McLaughlin glides over, makes the catch, throw coming to the plate on one hop, and it's too late. Hutton slides it safely, and SEMO strikes first.
Really good piece of hitting there by Reagan Brannon. Gets a pitch low in the zone, but knows that she has to really elevate this ball. Does a nice job of just getting underneath it and getting it into the grass. To score Hutton from third base. Good piece of hitting there.
So key to score first in the first 2 games of this tournament that are both single elimination. Gracie Luna, the junior. And look at that hometown. From right here in Peoria, Illinois. Hitting 7 for 15 across her last 5 games. Floats this out to Boone in right field. And that will end the inning. The first 2 reach. 1 run comes around to score. Reagan Brannon sac fly brings home Camden Hutton. And it is the Redhawks that have the early advantage in game 2 of the day. Western Illinois' batting order today as we start the second inning. They're trailing 1-0 with Maria Luna, the DP, up there in the 5 spot, followed by Sofia Sanchez and Angelina Ortiz. Starting lineup is presented to you by Rawlings. He's ground out to first. Rawlings, the #1 softball brand worldwide and widely recognized as the mark of a pro, is proud to be the official softball of the OVC.
Now by the second baseman, number 15, Sofia Sanchez.
What does it do for a starting pitcher in the circle knowing that she's got the lead? Does it add any kind of level of comfortability knowing, hey, it's still early, but at least we get to play from in front today?
Absolutely. I think any time that you can go out in the circle and you have the lead, you just feel like you can go after the hitters a little bit more. You feel like you don't have to work around as many hitters. You have a little bit of a cushion. Obviously, would love to see a few more runs on the board, but, I think for Stinson, feels like, as a coach, you want her to go out there and you just want to attack these hitters. Western Illinois did put some good barrels on balls in that first inning, and so I think maybe going to her off speed and trying to keep these hitters a little off balance. Looks like, the Western Illinois hitters were in that first inning were timing Stinson up a little bit, and so seeing if she can keep them a little more off balance. But with the lead, you always want Stinson to go right after these hitters.
I mean, back in game 1, the early trip out to the rubber was a sign, ultimately, of good things to come from Sue Kunkel when she went out there to talk with Kylie Whithouse in the second inning, because she wanted to toss in a complete game shutout, her 4th complete game of the season. I mean, Emily York was also sensational. We didn't see a trip out from anybody in the coaching staff for Tennessee Tech in game 1. Ball behind 3-0, and it's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Sofia Sanchez with 1 down.
And that's exactly what you don't want to see is your offense comes out, gets you the lead, and then 4-pitch walk for the second hitter. But no free passes. You want to limit your free passes in these games, especially for a team like Western Illinois, who that's what they're looking to capitalize on. They're trying to create something on the base pass.
Angie Ortiz, first pitch hacking after 4 straight missed. That one elevated and fouled it back. Hey, we ask all these coaching staffs coming into the tournament, hey, what are going to be the keys to success? If you can do X, Y, Z, what are those things you guys need to accomplish well to rattle off some wins? And ultimately the goal is obviously to be still playing, still fighting come Saturday. And a lot of times you hear, hey, we need to limit the free passes, we need to limit the mistakes. And frankly, it was a mistake that was the difference in game 1. Ortiz, the true freshman from Chino, California, out of Chino High School. Check swing and held up. 2 balls and a strike. One of those players that kind of has gone as the team has gone. It's been up and down the last couple of weeks. Had a 5-game hit streak. Now over the last 5 games, she's 0 for 15. There's a funky spinner over towards second. Underhand flip from Hutton for the second out.
Yeah, and I think something that viewers may not notice at home, but Stinson keeps going to her back pocket. She has like a little sticky rag in her back right pocket, and when you're playing on turf, the ball obviously doesn't pick up dirt, and that dirt provides grip for these pitchers. And so you see that there. It has a little bit of sticky. It's totally legal. It's a little grippy so that she can get some grip on her fingers. But when you play on turf, the ball is just a little bit slick, and so sometimes for a pitcher, it can be really hard to kind of find your grip the first few innings because the ball just is a little more slick than when you do play on dirt, and the ball can pick up some of that dirt and rough up a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how she settles in, but definitely see her going pretty often to that sticky grip in her pocket.
So that's something is going to come into play if you're pitching, especially at a turf field. Is that something you throw with in the bullpen in the lead up to the game too, just to get accustomed to? Yeah,
and it might be something that she has used all year, but it's definitely important when you're playing on a field that's turf. I know the ball just feels so different.
Reagan Boone slaps one into left field. That's a base hit. And they're at the corners now as Boone picks up a 2-out single.
Now by the catcher, number 17.
It was a good job there actually by a Falter. A lot of people with 2 outs maybe want to see her lay out, but in that situation with the ball tailing away from you down the line, you do want to keep that ball in front to keep Sanchez over there at third base. If you dive, that can easily turn into a triple.
Elijah Williams, the sophomore catcher from Kansas City. 10 RBIs on the season over her last 2 series. She is 7 for 11, hitting .636. That includes a 4 for 5 effort over the weekend versus SIUE. Team that's got a great pitching staff, too. Smoked right back up the middle, and we are all tied. Bottom of the order coming through. Elijah Williams with her 11th RBI of the season.
And Western Illinois continues to barrel up Stinson. These balls are being hit firmly off the barrel. Really nice ball right back up the middle, right back where it came from. Stinson definitely going to have to mix in her off speed because they are timing Stinson up right now. I mean, even their outs, they're barreling up.
Back to the top, and McLaughlin floats it the other way. Foul.
Play center fielder number 18, Addison McLaughlin.
Great bounce back inning. And you said it as soon as Stinson had that 4-pitch walk with 1 out. When your team's gifted you to the lead, the last thing you could do is give it back with 3 passes. Ball came around to bite her, and crouching at the plate as McLaughlin somehow dodged that pitch inside.
That'll brush you off the plate for a minute. That was coming right at her noggin.
Yeah, that'll wake you up in an early start to the day, too. Who needs coffee when you got one coming right in the kitchen? Dump back foul, 1 and 2. So 3 hits and a walk, first time through the order for this Leatherneck's offense. McLaughlin grounded out to short her first time up. She's at the top of the order because she's got an incredible eye, especially for a first-year player, who's something that Coach Goller talked about. I mean, 392 OBP, 26 walks for a first-year player. Undersized and was maybe a little bit under-recruited because of that, but she has started every single game. This is start 46 of her season. Stinson doing a good job of running it inside consistently.
Yeah, clearly the scouting report there on McLaughlin, they're just pounding her in the zone, on the inner half of the zone. And that's one thing you have a little bit of an advantage as a freshman, is they don't have as much film on you. As she gets the K swing in there.
Strikeout ends the inning, but Western Illinois bounces back and ties things up. Their first ever run in OVC tournament play as Elijah Williams comes through with the RBI hit. McLaughlin gets K'd, and we're tied through 1.5. You know, this SEMO lineup got on the board in the first inning. Now we're all level 1 apiece. It was Reagan Brandon, the catcher, with the sac fly. He didn't leave a runner at third, and now it's Lily Delmain to get things started. And a blue liner right to Tar at third.
One pitch, one out. Can't ask for much more there.
Now by third baseman, number 10.
Already got more runs than
Miles.
we saw in game 1 today, which was quite the pitcher's duel. 1 run. It came home unearned with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Sending the Screaming Eagles on to game 3 of the day. This tournament's always so fun because you start and you hit the ground running. Back-to-back elimination games, but if you win one of those 2 games, you win your first one, you don't get to maybe take a deep breath and relax, but you know that, hey, at least you'll be spending the night here and living to face tomorrow because you enter double elimination play. A ball and 1 strike to Sidney Miles, the third baseman. Another one of the many freshmen we'll see on display this week out of Park Hills, Missouri, and Park Hills Central High School. Didn't play in their last game on Saturday, but started both games in the doubleheader on Friday against Tennessee Tech. SEMO's seeing a lot of the purple and gold the last few days. Wolves is 2-2. That's looped into left field for a base hit. 1 out single the other way from Sidney Miles. And a good stroke to get a 2-out or a second inning base runner.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there by Sidney Miles. Takes an off-speed pitch, lets it get deep enough, takes it the other way. I'll be interested to see. Coach Redburn is one of the best in the game at picking pitches. You can see him over there at third base, looking straight into the pitcher's glove. And if he can pick that changeup, a lot of times that really helps you as a hitter, because then you know you can kind of just wait to hear. You know, there's usually something coming from the dugout or something that a changeup's coming in. Otherwise, you're just sitting on anything hard.
Addy Martini drives one out towards deep left field. Ortiz back, and it is gone. Addy Martini with her 2nd home run of the season. And a 2-run shot vaults SEMO back in front.
Addy Martini, bottom of the order, coming in clutch for this SEMO team. Just gets a pitch that's up in the zone and just makes Wolves pay there. That pitch just at the letters, and Martini just gets all of that one.
What a swing from Addy Martini, who last year had some OVC tournament magic. She had the walk-off single to eliminate Lindenwood a year ago.
And I think that's why SEMO's been a little more successful down the stretch, is you're just getting a little more production from the entire lineup, right? They're not relying on the top of the order. You know, it's huge when you can get offensive production from your 6, 7, 8 hitters like that. You feel like you have a really good chance to be successful.
Just whiskers foul as it was fielded by Tar. That bottom of the order really coming through on both sides. That's what led to Western Illinois' rally in the top of this inning. And the biggest or loudest swing of the tournament so far coming from Addy Martini is this was just foul off the bat of Falter. Senior from Odessa, Missouri at the dish. 3-year starter. Had 1 total home run in her first 3 years. She's got 3 this year. And the slapper sends one right back up the middle. 3 straight hits from the bottom 3 in this SEMO lineup. That's a sign that Coach Redburn just has to absolutely be thrilled with.
Absolutely. That's the whole point of that 9-hole hitter is turn the lineup over to the top of the order. You know, with Hutton, Winkler, and Shore coming up.
The top half of this lineup's been nearly unstoppable the last month or so of the season. And now you've got Miles, Martini, and a Falter with a couple singles and a homer. Camden Hutton takes down low.
And that pitch to Martini was an interesting one because Wolves, for the most part, has been really utilizing that drop ball, staying down in the zone, and I think maybe thought that she could sneak one up in the zone to Martini, but Martini does a great job of identifying that up in the zone and makes her pay.
Down low, throw to second on a hop in time. What a pick and tag.
Looks like that's going to be obstruction.
Obstruction, yeah.
And that's obstruction's such a tough call.
There's not a lot I think you can do in that situation if you're Udendorf.
No, there's not a lot you can do, and I don't know. Every year this rule, always gets looked at, but when the ball beats the runner that badly, I mean, no matter what, if she had room to slide or not, she's gonna be out. But that's the rule. If there's not a clear path for the runner to slide, then the runner gets the base.
3 balls and no strikes now. Or there 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, it's a tough situation. You got to feel for the fielder. One, it was a great pick on the throw down. Ball beat her by a wide margin. That softly hit on the ground up the middle. Sanchez gloves, sets her feet, but can't get the throw in time. Hutton's speed paying off. And 2 base runners with just 1 down. Big snowball in here early on Lily Wolves, who gave up a run in the first. 2 already here in the second, and now 2 aboard, and 2, 3, and 4 coming up. And we know that a lot of the coaches coming into this tournament too, especially in these elimination games, saying, hey, the leash can't be too long. If you don't have it, if you're losing the control or getting hit hard, we might not wait too long.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, you have to have a short leash because there is no next game, there is no tomorrow in this game, and so doesn't look like anybody's warming up in the pen for Western Illinois, so I think maybe just coming out with 1 out and runners on first and third, want to talk about defensive positioning. Do you want your middles to pinch and maybe turn a double play? Do you want your infield in? Because as this lead gets bigger and bigger, in an elimination game, you have to keep this lead. You can't give up early runs, and so I'll be interested to see. It looks like they may go infield in here, and they're going to give up the double play and try and cut the runner out at home. So I think just getting on the same page there. But, yeah, you're absolutely right, Max. I mean, the leash has got to be pretty short in these games.
The flip side of that, if you're SEMO, these are opportunities you have to take full advantage of. Try to expand on this lead. Runner goes first to second. Throw is cut off by Wolves. So Hutton moves up 60 feet.
Absolutely. The teams that really make a run in the postseason are teams that have clutch hitting and hit well with runners in scoring position. I mean, that's how you have to be able to be successful.
Winkler, it's knocked down by Wolves. Nobody's got a play. Both runners stayed put on the liner, and now the bases are loaded. Winkler already aboard for a second time.
Now by the first baseman, number 26, Aubrey Shore.
It's not just tough luck. A ball kind of off the end of the bat. It's one of those where it looks like it's coming harder than it is, and all you can do is stop it, but no play at any base. Though does a good job of getting the ball in the infield.
Aubrey Shore off the end of the bat on the ground, coming home and getting the lead runner. Huge second out for Western Illinois.
And if you're Coach Redburn, really frustrated by that at bat. Runners, bases loaded, and swings up the first pitch early, not on time with it, and just a weak ground out. You'd love to see your number 3 hitter maybe work deeper in the count, get a little better pitch that she can barrel up.
It's a big-time sequence. The last 2 batters, you think about Winkler lacing one right back to the pitcher, knocks it down. No real opportunity for a falter to try to break home. And you get the force out. And now the 1-0 is hit sharply into left field, base hit. Brandon delivers again. The throw from Ortiz, not in time. A great slide from Madison Winkler. And already a 3 RBI day for Reagan Brandon.
Reagan Brannon, some more clutch hitting. An excellent, excellent slide there by Winkler. Coach Redmond sends Winkler, and you'll see she does a great job. It's called just hook slides and just sneaks that hand in right at the last minute. Textbook catch and throw there by Western Illinois, but even better slide there by Winkler.
And now the next one's to the backstop, and another run will score. You think about doing the fundamentals well, not only on a 2-run single, but both base runners moved up the extra 60 feet on the throw home, too, and that allows another run to score.
I love the aggressiveness there by Coach Redburn. A lot of coaches, I think, would have chosen to see that pass ball there and another runner scores. But I love the aggressiveness. In a game like this, you know how crucial, how important runs are, and you have to make a perfect catch, a perfect throw, a perfect tag to get the runner out. And ultimately, that risk pays off for him.
We're seeing all the tools for this SEMO offense on display here this inning. The power, the speed, the hit tool, the heady base running, the aggressiveness. I mean, the wheels are turning, and they are applying the pressure. Luna, little cue job foul. 5 runs home. The second inning alone. Delmain was retired to begin the inning. The next 5 reached. 4 singles in the homer. Just barely caught a piece to stay alive. Luna 0 for 1, flew out to right field her first time up. SEMO has batted around. This is hitter number 9 in this second. And this time a good stop as Williams just walls it off.
Continue to stay away from Luna. Every pitch this at bat has been away.
Away again, and now the count is filled up.
And for Luna, not trying to do too much with this pitch. You have to let this pitch travel. Try and hit it into that right center field gap. Be disciplined.
Payoff pitch. Right over towards Coach Redmond. Redburn, excuse me. Still 3-2, longest plate appearance of the day so far. Gracie Luna, the 9th hitter of the inning. And she drills one out towards left field, angling towards the corner. It's over Ortiz's head. Another clutch 2-out base hit. Gracie Luna adds one more to the tally. It's 6-1. Or 7-1.
Gracie Luna does a good job. Again, they stay away, but Luna does a nice job. Finally gets a pitch a little bit more up in the zone, a little out in front, which is why she's able to pull that. But because that pitch was up in the zone, able to elevate that and sneak it just over the head of Ortiz over in left field.
We'll have a change in the circle and a call to the bullpen for the first time in this tournament as Libby Spalding will come in. A sophomore left-hander will provide a different look. First pitch in a tournament setting. That was not the ideal first warm-up pitch, I'll say. But coming in a spot where you can, I would argue ill afford to let any more damage come across in this second, only down by 6.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they made the change, trying to stop the bleeding here, keep the game within reach. Just provides a different look too for these SEMO hitters coming from the left side. She has a little hitch in her windup. You'll see when she goes to step, just not as smooth and can throw off the timing of these hitters because these hitters are seeing the ball really well, bearing the balls up. But credit to Coach Redburn and his hitters. He did a really good job preparing these hitters. They were having good at-bats. They were swinging at good pitches. They were waiting to get balls up in the zone. And they ultimately, with any balls up in the zone, they were making them pay.
Spalding has really been the team's workhorse. 111 innings pitched this year. That's 30 more than anybody else entering the tournament. 5.93 ERA. This will be her 12th appearance out of the bullpen to go with her team-high 19 starts. Has 8 complete games, too. So this is someone who could actually and absolutely get you the rest of the way. But goal 1. Just get out of this inning first. 6 runs home. And Lily Delmain coming up to bat, trying to avoid making the first and final out of the second inning. SEMO is already 6 for 9 with runners on and 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position. This is a time of year where you're searching for clutch, timely base hits. SEMO's finding those in bunches.
Yeah, we talked about SEMO peaking at the right time, offensively, defensively with their pitching.
Coming in and falling behind. 3 balls and no strikes. 7 runs on 8 hits already. Compared to, they've only made 5 outs. And Delmain is aboard. That's a non-competitive 3-0 offering.
Always feels good as a hitter when you make the first out. You certainly don't want to make 2 outs in 1 inning. I think we've probably all been there one time, but you don't hear about it. You hear about it for a good while from your teammates when you make 2 outs in 1 inning. So
you certainly start to press, and it's absolutely when you're ahead 3-0 in the count. There's no way you're going to swing there. It's a tough thing to do. This is 5 straight balls now. Sydney Miles up there. She started the rally with that 1-out single. And there is finally the first strike.
Yeah, better from Spalding there. I think anytime you see a pitcher throw 5 straight balls and balls that are down, they're just not finishing their pitches. She's just not getting good drive off the mound.
Pulled on the ground towards Sanchez. And that'll finally end this second inning. But 11 come up to the plate for SEMO. 6 come around to score. And they have taken this game by the reins as we go to the third. Elliott Stinson back out for her 3rd inning of work. There's a look at the defense behind her. Falter, Delmain, and Winkler in the outfield. Miles, Martini, Hutton, and Shore around the horn on the infield with Brandon doing the catching. The defensive lineup is presented by United Fidelity Bank. United Fidelity Bank serving their communities since 1914. Slapped out the shallow left. Coming on and making the diving catch He's a Falter for the first down. That's why we showcase the defense to let you know who's where, because they're going to make plays just like that.
Good job. A Falter just sticking with that one again with a lefty hitter. That ball's hard because it's tilling away from you, dying. It is pretty windy here.
A lot of smiles all around right now for SEMO because seemingly everything's going their way. And it's tough because this is a time of year where things can get a little tight, but generally the teams that play best in conference tournament and into regionals and supers are teams that somehow find a way to keep it loose.
Yeah, you have to. You can't make the moment too big, right? I think there has to be some intentionality about it's win or go home, but at the same time, it's just another game. You've done this every day, day in, day out for the last 3-4 months, and so taking it one pitch at a time. But it's, that balance of playing loose, playing with a low heart rate, but also, understanding that, like, we have to win this game.
Peyton Brown in front 3-0. There's a called strike. Average over 400. She's got 20 extra base hits this year to go with 23 walks. And just the 8 strikeouts. And there's walk number 24. Second walk allowed by Elliott Stinson.
Now by the first baseman, number 26, Peyton Brown. Correction now to play number 11, Ruby Tar.
Western Illinois had at least a base runner in every inning, and with the control going by the wayside momentarily here, Mark Redburn is going to come out and have a chat with his senior right-hander.
Yeah, I think the conversation is like, hey, your offense just put up a 6 spot. You got to come out and throw strikes. Pitch to contact, let your defense work. But the last thing you want to do after your offense puts up a 6 spot is to allow free passes. So I think just a good mound visit there, just a little reset.
That was a very abbreviated visit, too. You might have been right on the nose. Hey, we just put up 6. We're up 6. Go right after him. Ruby Tar swinging at the 1-0 offering, fouls it back. She flew out to center her first time up. Tar, the third baseman from Sydney, Illinois. Seven multi-hit games over her last 10. Back-to-back strikes now. Back pick a little late. Tar's hit safely in 9 of her last 10. And across that span of 10 games, she is hitting 0 for 500, 16 for 31.
A pretty good clip there.
Yeah, very open stance, that left foot on the outside chalk line. It's still very early. You're down by 6, but you can start chipping away.
Yeah, I think that has to be the message. You don't have to get them all back in one inning, but just continue to chip away. Continue to have good at-bats. Continue to barrel the balls up like that. They'll fall.
Mistake on the errant throw from Miles, who was looking for that 5-3 double play. I mean, that's an out, but you say quality at-bats. That's one of the hardest hit balls we've seen today.
Yeah, and Western Illinois continues to have quality at-bats. I mean, they're barreling up balls, and I think that has to be the message, is just continue to go up, get good pitches, continue to hit the ball hard. They'll continue to fall. Let's continue to get runners on base and chip away. I mean, I think the hardest thing is when you see that 6 spot, you feel like you have to get it all back in one inning, and the message has to be just a few at a time, just like this.
This should bring home 1. Delmain comes up firing way off line, and a 2-out RBI single for Maria Luna.
Just gets jammed there, but able to sneak in, and with 2 outs, Brown from second was running on contact and able to score, and just a little bit of miscue there by Delmain in center field. You really had no chance getting the runner at home, and so should have cut that ball off and maybe get the runner from getting into scoring position.
That's a big bonus, 60 feet for Luna. And that was single could potentially make it a 4-run game. Both teams, though, finding that timely hitting with 2 outs. Back-to-back innings with 2 out run scoring singles for Western Illinois as they look for more. Through Sophia Sanchez, who walked and scored last inning. Sanchez hit .341 across 31 starts last year. .266 average, start 46 this season. There's a champ shot foul. This feels like a game where it could be just who puts up the most zeros, because we could see some crooked numbers in game 2 of our day. It's a good layoff to even the count 2-2. The sun's shining bright right now. Wind is still really picked up. And a somewhat chilly afternoon in Peoria, Illinois. 2-2, hit the other way out to left, breaking in and having to reach back to make the grab as a falter. She started the inning with a diving catch, caps it with a grab as well. 1 run comes home, though. And it's 7-2 SEMO as they grab the sticks in the 3rd.
And what's your favorite?
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls, come on. Man, y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Western Illinois gets a run back. The 8 seed trail on the 5 seed SEMO 7-2. Their biggest problem has been keeping this Redhawks offense down. SEMO with a run in the first, 6 in the second. And Addie Martini, who's up there now, is a huge spark an inning ago. 2-run shot to left field. First home run for anybody in this tournament. Just her 2nd of the year. Pretty solid time for one, I'd say.
Absolutely, and that ball was barreled with the wind too. I mean, that ball was absolutely barreled.
And with the wind, it was 51 degrees. The feel-like temperatures in the mid-40s. Wouldn't say the ball's traveling awfully well today. Spalding out there for a full fresh inning for the first time after coming in relief of Lily Wolves. Trying to calm things down. Boy, the Leathernecks could really use a quick inning. Martini shows bunt, takes a strike. SEMO picked first in the preseason poll, finishing 5th, but finishing the season with a flurry. Trying to ride that wave of momentum. Diving play, it's past Sanchez into right center. What a start to the day for Martini.
Nice piece of hitting there by Martini for a second straight at bat. Just does a good job of seeing that ball deep. Coming from a lefty, you want to see that ball a little deeper, does a good job of staying inside that ball and not getting jammed.
How about that combination of swings? Compare that swing with the one she had last inning. Pulled homer to left and then just rips a base hit the other way. Brittany Falter shows bunt. Pulled back, great pick. Throw to first a little late from Williams. Trying to keep the wheels moving. 7, 8, and 9 for SEMO have combined for 4 hits. That's as many as Western Illinois has as a team.
And you'll see here kind of the defensive alignment. You're going to have Brown staying back, Brown and Sanchez. So if a Falter can pull this to the right side or drag bunt, because you have the left part of the infield in, and you have to leave you have to leave Sanchez back to cover second on the steal, which means Brown has to stay back to cover first base. So if a Falter could drag bunt, she may be able to bunt for a hit. And having a left-handed pitcher, that's Spalding's job to cover that side of the infield.
Joe's bunt takes his strike. No throw coming down to second. As Williams could not hang on to it. Big stolen base for Martini.
And it looks like we're going to have Martini out for leaving early. Umpire stuck his fist out. I couldn't tell if it was obstruction by Brown over at first base, but it looks like they are going to have Martini out for leaving early.
All 3 umps are going to come together. This is a big call.
Yep, and good, really, really good call over there by the umpire over at first base. Martini does leave early. There's no question about it.
Yeah, that's pretty clear cut.
Credit to our production crew there. It was a great view, great angle.
Great job picking that up live. And that should be and remain the first out of the inning.
Yeah, not quite sure now what they're having a conference about, because no other umpire is going to have a view of that. So I don't really know what the umpires are talking about, because there is absolutely no way. They may be talking about if it is a dead ball, is it a ball or a strike on the batter? They may just be kind of conferencing on the count is what my best guess would be.
Yeah, because rarely is it that black and white, a runner leave it early, but that was very easy to tell that Eddie Martini got the early start.
It was certainly a dead ball out, and now I think they're looking at what the count should be. Should it be 2-0 or 2-1?
Like the conversation continues. And for SEMO, I mean, it's a tough break. You got started a little early. It was a hitter's count, too. It was on a 2-0 offering. But you could tell that the mantra for them coming into this week is certainly trying to apply the pressure. And that's what we're seeing even with this miscue.
So I think what they're conferencing about is ultimately what the choice is going to be. If it's because it's a delayed ball out, if Western Illinois chooses the out, then it is not considered a pitch, or they can, which they won't do, they can take the strike, but they don't get the out. So I think that's
that
what
choice is pretty easy, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Explanation goes over to Coach Redburn at third, and I think we're back and ready to go. So it'll be no pitch, so it should be 2-0. There is one out, and there are no base runners. So that certainly changes the approach if you're a Falter at the plate. It does not change the alignment of the infield. They're still all the way drawn in. And pounding the zone back with his strike is Libby Spalding. Walter with the jab shot in the air over to first. Brown collects it. We were out number 2. So is that a mistake that you can live with, knowing that it's a mistake of over-aggressiveness, or is that a mental miscue that you say, hey, can't have that happening this late in the season?
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I love the aggressiveness by Coach Redburn, and it's a little bit of a mental miscue. I mean, at this point, you work time and time and time again on your timing, but at the same time, you know, Martini's not really a typical base stealer, and so, you know, Martini's like, trying to get a little bit of a lead there. I think at the end of the day, I like the aggressiveness, but I don't really think, you know, Coach Redburn can be unhappy about it, because ultimately I think, you know, trying to get a runner in scoring position, and Martini was just doing everything that she could to get herself in a position to be safe.
Yeah, she's only got 2 steals on the year, just 2 for 4. Back to the top of the lineup, third time up for Hutton. She's walked, she's got an infield single, and she's already scored a pair of runs. 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup combined have already scored 5 times. Really great production, top to bottom so far.
But I think those are the small details that you have to get right. You know, early in the season, I think those miscues, okay, let's learn from it. But this late in the season, I mean, the best teams, the teams that make a run, the teams that get into a regional, make a run into a super regional, get to the World Series, if you ask any of their coaches what they do right, it's they do the little things right. You know, and the little things are as little as that is leaving on time, you know, making good ground, having good defense just like that. And so I think overall, that's something that they're going to want to look at.
So funky inning, but Spalding keeps the score at 7-2. Exactly what Western Illinois needed. They chip away, and they keep the deficit the same in the home half of the inning. So we go to the 4th, still 7-2 here in Game 2 of the quad header. Into the top of the 4th we go. 7, 8, and 9. 2 up for Western Illinois. Ortiz goes after the first pitch and pops it up. Softly over to first to Aubrey Shore.
Now by right fielder number 23, Reagan Boone.
So 50 pitches through 3 1/3 innings so far for Elliott Stinson. Score was first, gave up 1 run in each of the last 2 innings. Runs that in on the hands of Boone. A great pitch. Does she have room? She does. Oh, what a play from Miles at third.
Simo flashing the leather today, just making the routine plays, making some really, really nice plays with a falter out in left, and now Miles over there at third.
Always has to be a little bit easier when you're going back towards your own dugout facing, right?
Absolutely. didn't seem like I couldn't hear them, but it didn't seem like they were offering her a ton of help. I wasn't hearing a whole lot of room, but we're from higher up, so maybe just didn't hear that. But certainly easier when you're going towards your own dugout.
I have found it in my career as a former player and as a broadcaster. There's a lot of times where everyone's yelling, you got room, and you just don't. You've run out of room, but there's rarely somebody yelling, it's out of play, hey, hold up, pull up. Swing and a miss makes it 2-1 to
That
Elijah Williams.
Always be a fun joke in practice of you're yelling you got room even when you don't have room, and then you get the look of like, oh, I didn't have room, and you're like, well, yeah, sorry.
That's when you get up and go, hey, one job. You got one job. You're in the dugout. Just tell me if I have room or not. I don't. Upstairs, ball 3. 2 runs on 4 hits so far for the Leathernecks offensively. Elijah Williams has one of those base hits, an RBI single with 2 outs back in the 2nd inning. She is 8 for her last 12. Across her last few OVC series, including today. 38th start of her season after starting just 7 games as a true freshman. She had 1 hit all of last year. Came on March 18th in a non-conference game versus Bradley. Big step for the catcher in year 2. She hits this well out to shallow center. Diving play. How about another from this SEMO defense? Delmain in center. Miles was reaching into the dugout for the 2nd out. A defensive clinic here in an elimination game early on this Wednesday afternoon. Williams rips it to center. Delmain is there. And Stinson with the first 3 up, 3 down inning of the day.
They help teams get where they need to be on time and ready to compete.
Chilly, breezy day. Wind certainly feels like it's a little bit more than 3 miles per hour out of the northwest right now, but at least the sun is shining down on Central Illinois in day 1 of this OVC tournament. The weather track is presented by Field Turf, a world leader in artificial turf. SEMO coming up trying to add on. But Libby Spalding's done a nice job in relief. Winkler bunts it right back to the pitcher, spins, throws, and got her by a step.
Really nice idea by Winkler there. Even better play there by Spalding. I like the idea. Take it to her.
Now by the first baseman, number 26,
have to make that good spin, pick up
Shore.
first base. Sound defensive play and tough from a lefty to field that part of her position.
Shore just foul of first. These two teams played just a couple games against each other in the regular season, and it was a while back. Had one of those games canceled. But you got to go back to March 9th. It was a Monday doubleheader, the last meeting. SEMO won both, 4-3 in game 1, and 14-2 in run rule fashion in 5 innings in game 2. So looking to go 3-0 against the same team, always a tough thing to do. It's Aubrey Shore and then Reagan Brandon. Shore 0 for 2 the last time she was up there. And the bases loaded with 1 out, but grounded out to short. And they got that out at home plate. On the ground this time the other way towards Sanchez. 2 quick outs in the 4th. And right now Spalding has done a great job of just stopping the bleeding. Keeping this a manageable deficit.
By the catcher, number 28,
yeah, Spalding's come in and done a nice job. First hitter she saw, 4-pitch walk, and then after that has really settled in nicely. Technically faced the minimum last inning with the runner leaving on the stolen base attempt early. Trying to do the same here in the 4th. Reagan Brandon, the catcher, and takes high for ball 1. This is the time of year where it's always a discussion for momentum and playing your best softball, and Simo's doing just that. Peaking at the right times, and you called it earlier. 1-0, nowhere close. And you know this team is always going to be right up there in the OVC ranks in terms of the talent. It's just about piecing it together. And some teams need longer runways than others. And maybe that's just what this 2026 Redhawks team needed. But they figured it out, and yeah, you see the 5 next to their name, but this team could absolutely still be fighting for a title come Saturday, and that would not shock anybody. Yeah, absolutely, and I think that, you know, you have to credit this team and just continuing to dig in and continuing to be gritty, and even when things aren't going your way, just continuing to ultimately see the goal, and the goal is to get into this OVC tournament, and they know that they have the talent, they have the depth, they have the arms, they have the offense. They just need to put it all together, and kind of the last 5 series they've been able to do that. I think the sky really is the ceiling for this team, and everybody knows it's at this tournament that even though they have that 5 next to their name, they certainly at any given day can play like they're the 1 seed.
Grown very accustomed to seeing them for the first time on day 2, or at least in one of the nightcaps at day 1. But playing in a single elimination game from the start here in 2026. As Reagan Brandon stays red hot, 3 RBIs, and now she's got a multi-hit game too.
Now by designated player number 7, Gracie Luna.
That brings up Gracie Luna. It's a great story because she's a junior, like we mentioned last time she was up, from right here in Peoria to East Peoria High School. And Kirsten, you got a little story because we've got some mac and cheese courtesy of her family.
Credit to the Luna family. They have some famous mac and cheese. The last few years they've given us some and saved us some again, and it's delicious. They do a team dinner at the Lunas every time they come to this tournament, which has just got to be so fun to be home and play in front of your parents and have your teammates over. And yeah, the Luna family always spoiling us with some incredible mac and cheese. So thanks to the Luna family for thinking us over here at ESPN.
I'm excited to try that, especially on a chilly day. I mean, who doesn't love some good comfort food? That's drilled off the bat of Luna, deep center, but it's tracked down by McLaughlin, and that will end the inning. A runner stranded, 1 base hit, no runs, home for Simo. We've completed 4 here at Gate 2 of the day. The Redhawks still up by 5.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
Top of the order coming up for Western Illinois here in the fifth. They're tied through against Elliott Stinson, the starter. In the circle for SEMO as Addison McLaughlin just made that nice play in center. We'll start things off. 0 for 2 on the ground down. A strikeout for her so far. Covers a lot of ground with those quick-moving legs in the outfield. Back up the middle, backhanded by Hutton. No chance to get the speedy center fielder. And that's the design. She hits it on the ground up the middle. It's nearly impossible.
Now batting shortstop number 22.
Yeah, absolutely.
Utendorf.
These slappers need to use this turf and the speed of this turf to their advantage. Again, Western Illinois continues to get runners on base. They just need to continue to chip away.
Utendorf will hop back liner to shallow left to Falter. Makes the play. And they've had Utendorf plate perfectly. It's back-to-back lineouts that same way towards a Falter.
26, Peyton Brown.
Brings up Peyton Brown. It's always so huge when you can get the batter in front of her out. Brown, who walked and scored last time. We haven't really heard her announcer's presence in the OVC tournament yet. That OPS near at 1,200. Those numbers are incredibly gaudy. She nearly slugged 800 last year. Only started 5 games as a true freshman at Illinois State. Transferred over. They kind of had her bounce around a little bit positionally on defense, and it hasn't affected the offense at all whatsoever. And she has just been super selfless with what she's been able to accomplish with this team. Came back trying to help send them to the conference tournament. She's accomplished that, as has the team for the first time. Pops up here, though, for out number 2.
Really big out there by Stinson. Really good hitter. Got her to chase the ball a little bit up in the zone and do some pop-up.
Tar had a great swing last at bat and rocketed line drive out to third as Brandon watches this just off the screen in front of her. Ruby Tar was on the OVC All-Newcomer team last year when she started all 48 games as a true freshman. The second on the team with doubles and hits. Batted .333. There's that mark up a good 20-plus points this year. One of the hardest hit balls we've seen today in either game. That liner to third. A runner at first and 2 outs after the leadoff infield single. They chipped away earlier, but it's getting later and later into the game now. They need base runners any way they can find them. Got Luna on deck, who brought home their last run with a 2-out RBI single. Melissa Goller would love to see her come up to the plate again this inning. on the hands. Then he's turned on and roped foul. Game 2 of our quadruple header today. USI took down Tennessee Tech 1-0 in Game 1. And SEMO has led since they put up a 6 spot in the second here in this one. Pop back up out of play.
Stinson's done a good job in these later innings. Looks like she's starting to find that rise ball, that up spin, getting some more swings and misses, some foul balls, fly outs, starting to find that rise ball.
Ball 4, productive plate appearance out of the cleanup spot for Ruby Tarr continues this inning. And that will give the aforementioned Luna an opportunity. Third walk allowed by Stinson this afternoon.
Now batting designated player number 32, Maria Luna.
So Maria Luna, who picked up RBI number 28 of her season last time up. A chance to continue to eat into this deficit. Had that bloop single into center her last time up. She's had super consistent numbers over the years in her time with Western Illinois. She's had exactly 15 walks in back-to-back seasons, exactly 3 home runs in 3 straight. And it's not coming as easy, it feels like, in the 5th for Elliott Stinson.
Yeah, I feel like this whole game, that's kind of been the story of this game for her, is at times has struggled with command. Feels like every pitch is a little bit of a grind for her.
On the ground, Martini over to first to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And it's still 7-2 now, middle of the 5th. SEMO will come right back up, trying to add on. They've got 6, 7, and 8 to up to the plate when we come back.
It will feature the number 3 seed SIUE Cougars and the number 6 seed Screaming Eagles of Southern Indiana.
Six, 7, and 8 due up. Addie Martini's already had a great afternoon going. As Lily Delmain climbs in from the right side. Takes the first pitch ball from Libby Spalding. SEMO 16-10 in OVC play this year. Winners of their last 6 conference games and 5 of their last 6 conference series. And looking to sweep the season series against Western Illinois. Winner of this one moves on to the nightcap against the 4 seed Lindenwood. The 2 teams we will not see today, the 1 seed Eastern Illinois and the 2 seed UT Martin. They will take the diamond for the first time tomorrow on day 2. Back in the count with a 3-0 strike.
Yeah, if you're Domain, have another ball to take if you need. This pitch has got to be right where you want it.
Got one to her liking, but it's going to ground out. Sanchez, who pulled the throw and sent Brown down to the turf, but still able to keep her back foot on the bag. Well, the SEMO offense is really quieted over the last couple innings. The workhorse all year long in the circle for Western Illinois, who did not start today. Mid Libby Spalding has really helped them in a relief role.
Yeah, and I think if the scoreline stands, you know, the question's going to be, number one, kind of how come Spalding didn't start? Or number two is, you know, should Spalding have brought in a little sooner? Obviously, there was a game plan there, but Spalding's done an excellent job of coming in and really shutting down this SEMO offense that was seeing the ball really well, barreling balls up.
SEMO had a lot of 2-out magic in that second inning. The 2-run single from Brandon, the wild pitch. Gracie Lunas, RBI double. And ultimately spelled doom for Wolves, whose day was short. There's a backwards K of Miles. And that is the first punch shot today for Libby Spalding.
Again, Spalding just does a good job, goes to that curveball, lefty-lefty matchup. It's a really, really hard pitch to hit if you're a left-handed hitter.
Three scoreless innings in relief. Just 2 hits, 1 walk, and a 1 strikeout. Spalding facing Martini now, who singled off her last time and was ultimately called out for leaving early on a stolen base attempt. But still 2 for 2 with a single and a 2-run homer today. And that 2-run shot right now would be the game-winning hit. Came with the scoreline 1-1. Martini and then a falter. Up by 5 in the 5th inning.
Yeah, I mean, there's 7, 8, 9 hitters in the SEMO lineup. Done a really nice job. Miles 1 for 3, Martini 2 for 2, and a falter 1 for 2, and turns the order over to Hutton and Winkler, who, you know, Winkler has 2 hits and Hutton has a hit. So that's 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, providing a ton of the offense today.
3-1 pitch, grooved in for his strike. If you're SEMO and you start to think, and you never like to count down outs too early, but you're, 6 outs away from moving on to double elimination play, beginning with the final game of today. High bouncing ball up the middle. That's going to skip by into center. And Addie Martini now 3 for 3. Good effort there from Sanchez at second. But you start thinking about how, even though Elliott Stinson maybe hasn't had the best stuff today, if she could be the one to get those 6 outs, that really could set you up well.
Absolutely, and I think that's why SEMO was picked first in the OVC is their depth. I mean, they have a good pitching staff. Shown today, they have a really good offense. It was just putting all those things together. If Stinson can go the distance and save some of their other arms, that would be huge for them. I think Stinson's done a really nice job of grinding things out. But you also have to give a ton of credit to Spalding. She's come in and really shut down this offense.
She has kept Western Illinois in it. No question about that. Falter bunts it right back. Easier spin and throw this time compared with the last, and Spalding up to the task again. She continues the shove. 3 1/3 scoreless innings for the lefty in relief as we go to the 6th. Western Illinois looking to claw their way back. 7-2, 11 hits for SEMO. They have made the game's lone error. Western Illinois, though, they have been hanging around. They've got 6 outs to work with, trailing by 5 runs. Today's game track is presented by Visit SI. Make Southern Illinois your summer oasis. What would you like to see here from the Leathernecks trying to cut down this deficit and get back in the game?
Yeah, I think it just starts with just getting runners on base, not trying to do too much at one time. I think just passing the baton, passing the bat. You know, you 8 and 9 both have a hit in the game, and so if, you know, Sanchez and Ortiz can get something going and you can get Boone and Williams and turn the order going, I think the message needs to just continue to be not trying to do too much, not trying to, you know, obviously you're not going to get it back all in one swing, but just trying to get runners on base, make things happen, put pressure on the defense, see if you can force SEMO to make some mistakes. And I think they have the opportunity to do that. I don't think Stinson's been perfect by any stretch. Does a good job there getting the out, but I think Stinson will go back and look at this game, and that's what good pitchers do. Good pitchers don't always have their best stuff every single day, and they find a way to grind it out, and I think that's what Stinson would say at times. I think she's done a good job of getting kind of that rise ball working, that ball with a little bit of upspin going, but at times she struggled a little bit with her command. But credit to her for continuing to grind through it.
To this point, 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. One of those was unearned. 3 walks and 1 strikeout for the senior in the circle. But a very manageable afternoon. 77 pitches only. As Ortiz flares this out on the infield. The wind is wreaking havoc on that pop-up. But Hutton able to stay with it. I don't think it was going to get out to shallow right field.
Yeah, right as that ball was hit, we had a huge gust of wind coming in from right field, and that ball just got pulled in.
I mean, that might have been moving backwards towards first base when it was ultimately caught. Reagan Boone, last chance for Western Illinois in the 6th inning. Takes one just off, or just on the outside corner. Went for 2 day, her single came back in the 2nd. Neither team has scored since Western Illinois played at the last run in the 3rd inning. That Maria Luna 2-out single. Jam back foul, continuing to rifle it towards the inner part of the plate against the slappers. Elliott Stinson. This is as strong as the wind has been all day, and the gusts we've had. I mean, on that Ortiz pop-up, that was doing crazy things midair. 0-2 didn't miss by much.
Excellent pitch, excellent spot there by Stinson. Still have 1 to play with. Don't need to give Boone anything too good.
Right back to Stinson again. Fielding her position well all afternoon long. She gets a couple of the outs. 3 straight retired. All on the infield. Middle of the 6th. SEMO 7, Western Illinois 2.
We'd like to recognize Discover Peoria for being a corporate sponsor of the OVC Softball Championship.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls. Come on. And y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Redhawks coming up to bat, and they've got the top of the order coming up, looking for some added-on insurance. Hutton, Winkler, and Short. Combined, they have scored 4 times and have 3 base hits. And it just feels like it's getting cooler and cooler, I should say, by the minute. Temps dropping a little bit in the mid-afternoon.
Leading off the second baseman, number 11, Cam Hutton.
There's Camden Hutton, the second baseman. We'll start things off. Scored in each of the first 2 innings. The table center who has done just that today. Came in swinging it as well as she had all year. Hit .414 at Vernon College last year in 50 starts, drove in 45 runs too. More of a different task here in year 1 with this team from Cape Girardeau. In terms of her role when she was at Texas State as a freshman, had 1 hit, only appeared 23 times. Not a staple in the lineup, certainly. And then was the best player on the team last year. And now year 1 with SEMO. And she has been a massive addition to this team, coming in as a transfer.
Yeah,
and a 4-pitch walk. That's her 24th walk of the year, second of the day.
I think that's what a lot of these kind of, mid-major programs need to utilize is that transfer portal. I think there's a lot of kids who maybe were under-recruited or, go to a Power 4 school and aren't getting the playing time they want to see and enter the transfer portal. And so I think, there's so many opinions about the transfer portal, about, the pros and cons, but I think it really can be helpful for some of these mid-major teams who maybe originally weren't able to recruit some of these kids, but then, they go to these schools and want to find something different, and they find a home where they can really thrive at a place like SEMO or Western Illinois,
There's so many coaching staffs around the country who love to bring in someone who is going to be an upperclassman, whether that be a junior, a senior, or grad student, or fifth-year player. No chance to turn 2 on the speedy Winkler, but they get the lead runner at second.
Yeah, absolutely.
But those older players who already have a lot of either at-bats or innings logged, but someone who's already been pretty proven at the collegiate level, whatever that level of college softball might be.
Yeah, 100%. They come in and immediately can take on a leadership role. They immediately elevate the game. They bring a different perspective. I absolutely think for a lot of these mid-major programs, utilizing the transfer portal is going to be huge for them.
Throw is off the mark. Utendorf knocked it down. Stolen base for Winkler. I think they were a little worried about her health potentially at second base here. That rip in the backside of her pants was already there when the at-bat started. So that's not new from the turf in the last minute or so, but came up a little gimpy.
Never pleasant. Hard to know if she got a cleat stuck or just kind of like really slid where that opening was on her. Yeah, nothing there, but clearly came up a little bit sore. Looks like she's fine now on the base pass.
Aubrey Shore. He's 0 for 3 today with 3 groundouts. Drives this one in the air out towards the right field corner. Boone over, and it is foul.
I think something super important that a lot of people need to understand is that, mid-major softball programs can be really, really competitive. There's a lot of really competitive mid-major programs. If you kind of look even in the top 25, you have, schools like Liberty who constantly are in the mix, and SEMO has given it some good runs. Eastern Illinois has been really impressive out of the OVC. The OVC produces some really, really good softball players. And so I think for a lot of people, it's not all about going to a Power 4 conference. I think it's super important that you can have an incredible career, get an education, play the game you love, and still play really high-level softball at these mid-major schools. And sometimes I think that doesn't get talked about enough in the travel ball scene. And And so I think you have a lot of kids that aspire to go to the Texases and the Tennessees and the UCLAs or the Missouris or all of those things, and they get there and they're just not getting any playing time. And you know, maybe that's just not the home for them. And entering the transfer portal and finding somewhere where they're going to be able to make an impact and play, I think is super important. That it's not necessarily about playing at a Power 4 school. It's about where you're going to go and be able to make an impact and, you know, play high-level softball.
Liberty was an incredibly entertaining team to watch in the postseason last year. Grand Canyon's had a great year this year.
JMU's always in the mix.
JMU, I think about some of these Omaha teams, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Years past, they almost escaped a regional in Columbia a few years ago.
We don't talk about those things.
I said almost.
Almost, yeah.
2 on with 1 away as SEMO tries to add on here in the 6th and potentially put this game to bed. Already with a 5-run cushion. And Reagan Brandon coming up to bat. 3 RBIs, a 2-for-2 day. She singled her last 2 times up. Sac fly in there as well. Chance to bust this thing wide open. Just another multi-hit game for her. That is 7 in a row. Across that 7-game span, 12 runs batted in. And a stretch where she's 15 of her last 25. That's an average of 600.
She has seen the ball well, and it always feels good as a hitter when that is how you're seeing the ball, just like that.
That's what she's been doing for a few weeks now. Another base hit for her, 3rd of the day. That's going to plate another run.
And you know you're seeing the ball well when you hit a ball like that. You let a ball get deep. You take it to right center field. I always say the sign of a really good locked-in hitter is being able to take the ball the other way and just lets that ball get deep, stays on her backside. You can tell that Reagan Bannon is really, really, really seeing the ball well.
Mary Tutwiler. And now at the plate, the designated player, number 7, Gracie Luna.
So pitch runner at second. That is Mary Tutwiler. But Gracie Luna at the plate. Potentially a couple big runs out there. That is just such a smooth swing from Reagan Brandon, though. I mean, it's mighty impressive. It's repeatable. It's like the same swing every time.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's just a really, really good, just mechanically smooth swing. And if there's people watching at home, you know, you want to put that one in slow-mo and exactly repeatable. That's the biggest thing is being able to take a swing and repeat it. Can you repeat it off the tee? Can you repeat it in front toss, in BP, and then can you repeat it live?
Just such an easy double. 1-1 pitch misses upstairs.
And that's what I talk about with young hitters and, you know, even hitters at the collegiate level. I have a few hitters that I coach that are now in college, and we still chat back and forth. And hitting should feel easy. If you're locked in and you're hitting the ball well, hitting should feel smooth. Hitting should feel easy. And when your swing feels easy like that, that's when you know you're clicking on all cylinders. Big at bat here for Gracie Luna with a potential winning run. You do have that 8-run rule after 5 innings. Winning run sitting on second base. Game-ending run.
Jams down out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes. She's got an RBI double already today. 1 for 3. Double here would end it. Looking for a 7th straight OVC win. That's smoked into right center, and that'll do it. Gracie Luna with a 2-run double. That makes it 10-2. And that will be your final as SEMO is moving on.
Gracie Luna, multiple big hits this game. Just gets a good ball. Again, really, really nice hit back up the middle. But 1 through 9 for this SEMO offense really came up clutch. You had just really good at-bats from Martini in the 8-hole. You had Hutt and Winkler all just hitting really, really well today. And SEMO definitely seemed like they're hitting on all cylinders.
8, or all 9 batters, I should say, in the SEMO lineup reached. They got production 1 through 9. And how about back-to-back opposite field ringing doubles? Bringing home the final 3 runs to end the game. 10-2 in 6 innings as SEMO has won a 7th straight OVC game. They cap off a season sweep of Western Illinois, who had a great year, their first appearance in the OVC tournament. So we're 2 games in. We are now 2 games in which teams have been eliminated. Tennessee Tech lost Game 1 today, 1-0. Western Illinois falls 10-2 in Game 2. And now we've got both games slated, 3 o'clock Central Time, Southern Indiana and SIUE, and then 5:30, just about, SEMO and Lindenwood. Both of our next 2 games, not single elimination, but you want to put yourself in good position with another win certainly coming later today. So for Kirsten Dow, I'm Max Thomas. Say it so long from Louisville Slugger Park at Peoria, Illinois, where the final score in this one is 10-2 in a shortened 6 innings. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.
Job.